Gotta get the chats pulled up. That's good enough. Alright. Now let's set OBS up front for the moment. Whoops. Alrighty. Now let's mess around a little bit. Not gonna play super long. Back to work, so haven't had a whole lot of time to actually do anything as far as videos and whatnot for the channel goes. So, to somewhat make up for that, we're going to stream for a little bit. Probably won't end out doing more than an hour or so, just because I don't have a huge amount of time to dedicate to it before I really need to go to bed. So, I'm going to play around a little bit. And one thing I wanted to start off with is a really quick tip for how to easily build stuff in a secondary base. So say I need to take another hot spring to my other base. So drop that, hit that. Now I have all the materials on my character. Go to the base that I actually want to put the hot spring down at. And I've got one right there. I want there to be another one, so that if the one is occupied, the other one can be used. This will also let me drop down a couple more pals, because you don't really want to overwhelm a base until you actually get enough stuff up to support the sanity. Of course, in game you get enough things going that you can actually outpace sanity drain enough that you can run them on hardcore. But alright, let's see. There's that guy. We'll drop him down here, because I think he looks cool. And throw Dig Toys down, because the whole goal for this base is just to be extremely efficient with mining. Of course, right now all I've got down is that one and some coal. One other trick I've got: put all the chests in an enclosed room, and if you just watch as some of the transport panels start to hit stuff, I wonder why that's in there, you'll see these numbers go up. They still move over and get semi-close to it, but by enclosing it you can make it to where they don't have to go all the way over to it. Sometimes they don't even come over remotely close. They just think about it, pick it up, and items go in. So that's how that works. Let's take some coal back to the main base, and then we'll take a little bit of a collection, figure out where we're at, what we need to do, and who we're going to go kill. I've already went and grabbed a jet dragon, or jet dragon. Alright. And let's make sure the doors and everything are closed up here. Yep. Got some better storage options at this point, but not quite feeling it to come through and take everything out and replace it. Although I believe my buddy that has just a dash of OCD is already starting to try to organize some. Well, Oh yeah. No kitty. No climbing up here right now. Hardwood and nail. I can go get some hardwood. Start throwing those in here. Alright, let's make sure we've got some of this stuff set up to actually produce a few things, and then we'll go out in the world. Yeah, I know technically you could do the mozzarella hamburgers, but I find it a lot easier to set up infinite production for salads. 41, so we could probably go ahead and do, let's see, we've beaten him. What's the next tower? Oh yeah, this guy. And his tower is right here. Let's try that one. See if we can do it. May not be able to, but it'll be fun to try. Oh, I've also went and grabbed the Vanguard Charm. And of course picked up a couple of those guys. That's really the only way you can grab Jetragon so early. Anything we should get? Glider, we'll get it eventually. Electric Kitchen will be necessary. Alpha will be necessary. That would be fun because he's really fast. So, yeah, sure. I've got Xenogard. Let's do it. Guild Chest will be useful too, but we're gonna save our ancient technology points for now. Now, I don't have a good enough weapon to really be contributing DPS in this fight, so we're just gonna be rotating through the pals and seeing how it goes. And we'll let the cinematic play in case anyone that's watching hasn't actually seen it. They did a really good job with these cinematics. I'd be really interested to see them actually come out with a bit more story cinematics involved in it. Like, there's a really interesting story behind Palworld, and I guess that might be what they're shooting for with the idea of doing like an anime and whatnot, but there's a lot being left on the table by having so much of the story in the journal logs, and depending on people actually doing the quest between towers, because you can just skip the quest and go straight to the towers, but if you do that, you don't actually aggressive. There you go. If you do that, you don't get the full effect. Yeah, I'm just gonna let Jetragon do his thing. And occasionally, well, just for fun, let's pop out Chillet. Let Chillet hit him, because it'll do some damage. When it actually does its ice attack. Ugh. If it does its ice attack, come on. Okay, Xenogard. You go ahead. Yeah, Jetragon is kind of overpowered for this one. He's kind of overpowered for the game in general. Like, even if scaling him down, he hits like a truck. And it's not that hard to get. As long as you're willing to be patient. I didn't grab him on my main file for this exact reason. Like, I knew he would be a really quick win state for most of the fight, so I just kind of left him. Yeah, we'll make the large toolbox when we get out of this. Oh, here. I'll let you rest for a second. Let Xenogard do some damage. Yeah, probably had enough time to... And he's dead. Yeah, with Jet Rig on, you can just kind of kite them around. I love how kind of serious this fight is, and then when it's their death animations make them look super silly. I don't know, this game does a really good job sort of riding that line really hardcore between cute and kind of dark and messed up. Like the tower boss that keeps his minions addicted to drugs. And before anyone says, well, that's not funny, my brother died from a cocaine overdose. If anyone can laugh about it, or if anyone's going to laugh about it, I should. So, I don't find it offensive. I think it's actually kind of clever, really. Like, the way they wrote it in, it's not a positive thing. Okay, come here. Does Ragnarok not have kindling? Nah, that's what I thought. Yeah, let's see what's over here. Depending on what it is. That's another Xenogard. Do we want a second one? Yeah, sure. Ooh. I worry more about having my flying mount accidentally killed than anything else because I don't have a backup for him right now. So if he dies, I basically get to sit there and wait 10 minutes. Let's see. Is that the one? Oh. Oh. I wonder. You know what? Let's go see how many, if I can catch Frostallion knocked with 2 soul spheres. Probably not. But it'll be fun to try. If not, he'll kill me and give me a quick trip back to the base. Yeah, no, the custom rules on the server drop death penalties. We pretty well unanimously agree that drops on death is more irritating than fun. I don't need high stakes in my casual time. There's plenty of games that have really strict rules about how things happen to you whenever you're actually playing through them. This is not the type of game that I play to have really serious things going. Hey, Satanic. How you doing? Just happened to notice you joined. You have a good day. Yeah, no, that's one of those things that the older you get, the more you appreciate a quote-unquote boring day. I've had plenty of exciting days. Exciting days that make good stories. They're not fun to live through. Of course, you know that too. I know you've been through quite a few things yourself. Knock them. It's tempting, but nah. We're gonna try Frostallion Knock. See if we can catch him or get ourselves killed. And uh-oh. Ooh. Come on. Lucky. Oh, nice. He still killed my Ragnarok, though. Well, I guess I can try to grab a couple ancient bones while I'm up here and just let one of the things kill me. Leave them in the chest so my friends can make their own little emblem. Yeah, I did see the controversy with that. Isn't it like the second moderator that mod has had, or second developer, like lead developer for that mod that they've had that's ended up being a pedophile? Because if I recall correctly, that's why the first one ended up being outed. No, alleged pedophile. Let me throw that out there. I don't think dudes have been arrested yet, so there's allegations of inappropriate conduct with minors. Let's just phrase it that way. Avoid any sort of legalities there. Oh, wow, that one. Oh, yeah, it's hitting on it before, so. Uh-oh. Yeah, it's ironic that would happen twice. You would think with it happening the first time, dude would have been just a little bit more cautious. You know what? This community watches pretty well. Probably shouldn't try this here. Uh-oh. About to die. Well, there's plenty of reasons to dislike XQC. I think he gets a little bit too much hate. He took the Papa Meat video really well, which goes to show he at least has a sense of humor. Not my type of content, but whatever. And I could see why at this point, after having it happen twice, I could see why the rest of the devs would want to just distance themselves from that project, because it makes it kind of look like there's some sort of theme going on. Alright, let's see. He'll be good for combat. He can replace Chillette. And we're just going to drop these guys in here. How much is it going to be to make the Xenoguard saddle? Because then I might not get Ragnarok back out. No, I just need some leather. Well, let's just go buy some. I need to make a video talking about how I'm going to join in on the Sony boycott the last week of the month. I'll have to play exclusively PC games that month and actually get on and stream some to show that I am joining in on it. Not to virtue signal the boycott, but to explain that realistically, people are going to have to actually start pushing back about the whole digital files or licenses thing. Too many people are just accepting that all we have to do is accept that they're licenses. We don't have to do that. We can go through the process of redefining what license means, but it'll be a whole lot easier just to go ahead and get people to start saying, yeah, no, this isn't licensed. You own a digital copy. There might be some trade-offs with that. You might actually have to start being responsible for your digital files, like on your end of it, or part of your subscriptions will more than likely would just end up being that. What is the sound? There's a lucky one somewhere near here.
What?
There he is. Means to get back up quickly. Anyway, too many people just accept the idea that, well, we can force them to give us something with a license or blah, 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 blah. It's like, no, it's simple. They should have never been defined as licensed software anyway. It should have always been defined as an ownership thing, even if that requires that you actually take some responsibility for your files. Like, it's the reason why people on PC haven't really complained all that much, because you have the files. Yes, with Steam stuff, arguably you still need Steam sometimes to launch them, sometimes you don't. But where you have the files on your machine, it's a lot easier to find cracks and whatnot. So that's not something that is an absolutely you must do it this way type of deal. Also on PC, you have things like G2G or GOG, where you can make your own physical copies, and that's the whole deal with GOG. You know, there's no point in pretending like we have to accept the idea that games are just licenses and that's all there is to it. That's nonsense. That's the defeatist way to look at it. We should own our digital media the same way we own physical media. Yeah, see, that's irritating. And to Nintendo's credit, while they have a lot of wonky things that they do, even though they have put out the whole key card thing, that seems like that was something that they did primarily for third-party games. Like, I've given Nintendo all sorts of hell on this channel because, I'm playing Palworld right now. It's probably in my top 3 games of all time. So, obviously, I have a little bit of animus towards them at this point over all that. But, credit where credit's due, none of their first-party games have been key cards. They've all been fully on the card. Now, the way they run their eShop is still nonsensical, but the way they run their eShop is a good example as to why you don't want Sony to be able to go all digital. Because Nintendo basically never puts anything on sale. And Sony will pretty much copy them. They will never put anything on sale again once that actually becomes a thing. It'll just be the way they handle everything from that point on. Well, I really hate jumping down here to do this, but it's going to be the fastest way to handle it. I've gotten really unlucky. There's been nothing but raids every time I come on here. Yeah, see, like, there's no point in like letting companies monopolize their markets the way that we're going to if we go with an all digital future. Like that's the reality of what they want to do. They just want to monopolize their markets, make it to where you have to go through to them to get them. Xbox tried this generation to do things in a sort of multi-platform way. Sony half-heartedly tried it. Like, there's some kind of wonky things with the way that they released games on other systems that make you think that they were probably not as genuine in their efforts to make stuff work well as they claim to have. But Xbox just got unlucky. Part of the way through this whole console generation, they got gutted, and the directives they were given, if they're even remotely close to being true from what I've read, like saying that they had a 30% profit target in terms of gaming. That's absurd. There's not that many markets that have that much of a profit margin. And especially not gaming. Like on a good year, 10% profit margin is a pretty good margin for a lot of the gaming stuff. But I don't know. I'm not 100% certain that the woman that has taken over has a very realistic view either, because she made the comment that she wants to, I think, have a 1 billion player install base for Xbox at this point. And that's an intense amount. But yeah, the Halo rework, from what I understand, was pretty bad. But I'll give them some credit for that. That's been in the works for a little while, so you can't really put that on current leadership. That's more past leadership. So I don't know. I also feel like the woman that's been put in charge is someone that's being set up to take a fall. Like, they let the dude that everyone liked leave. Granted, from some of the stuff I've seen pop up, it seems like maybe he didn't necessarily leave under the best of circumstances, but they let him bail out. And then they put someone in that's relatively... It's not like that she's unknown, it's that comparatively she's an unknown. And the companies are bad about doing that, like cycling people in, making it look like they're giving someone an opportunity, but when in reality they're setting them up to take a big fall for something. And I would suspect with Xbox that particular fall is going to be the closure of the Xbox division of Microsoft. Like, I think they're trying to figure out their exit plan right now from even doing an Xbox. So, I don't know. We'll see. That's a little bit conspiracy minded, but I don't think it's that far off base. We'll go with compound bow. Well, that might be fun. Hold on, what do I need to make it? Probably just the weapon station. Primitive workbench. Okay, cool. Those things, not that bad to make. Oh, I should probably look and see what I need to actually make the next thing to upgrade the base. Sphere assembly line, let's do that first. Circuit board, no. Circuit board, I think I need crystals. So I need to go into the mountains that are up here. Oh, let's see. Are these guys finished regenerating? Yeah, so we're going to leave Ragnarok behind. And who are we going to sub in its place? Yeah, we got a second Xenogard. Did I grab the right one? Let's see. Yeah, probably. Might be good enough. Whatever. They'll be replaced in the end game ultimately anyway. Let's see. What should we grab? Hmm. I've got an idea. There we go. Get us some Bellanor Libro slabs. We'll use that. Alright, let me just... no, those are a buddy of mine, so I'll put those back, but nails. Need some... Friend slop games? What are we calling friend slop? I've been seeing slop be attached to a bunch of things here lately, and I'm an old enough man at this point that I'm losing track of some of the terms. I'm assuming you're talking about the things like, say, Fall Guys, where it's, but much more shoddily put together. Carbon fiber. If you're watching this, Marcus, your ammo goes in here. Yeah, that's what I thought. You know what? The same thing that I think about games that are made just to be streamed. If someone's enjoying watching them, then I don't really see a point in being too upset that someone's made them. Because there are things that it's not worth buying, but they make a really entertaining thing to watch. So you need some stuff out there that's good content. Not necessarily my content, but there does need to be some games that are just fun to kind of sit back and watch. I don't know. If they're terrible games, whatever. People can just not play them, right? If people are actually playing them, is it really slop? Maybe. Sometimes people play so bad it's good type of things. That's not quite as prevalent in gaming, I feel like, as it is in movies. Like, so bad it's good is just not really that terribly. Usually so bad means it's so broken that it can't really properly be played. We'll just drop one of these for now. And after this, we'll start going to go grab the crystals. That way we can start... Oh, God. He hopped up here. It's always fun when Baphomet decides to join you to do a little bit of carpentry. I don't really need that anymore. We also have incubation time set to 0. Yet again, we're all working. Might as well make sure to get the most fun out of the game that we can. What little bit of time we have to play. What else was I going to do real fast? Oh yeah, put the ingredients over here in the icebox. I know the freezer boxes are a little bit of a waste in terms of absolute optimal efficiency, but I don't care. Do I still have plenty of food? Yeah, we just need berries. And we'll set this up, and then we'll go. Alright. Miko commander deck for the first 24-hour. All orders was filled. Of course, of course. Yeah, no. Here's the problem with Magic and the way Wizards runs it. They pay way too much attention to the secondary market and the resale market. I get it. It's good for the game for there to be a secondary market, but I don't know, between scalpers. Oh yeah, that's right. He doesn't fly. Oh well, that was a stupid mistake of mine. I shouldn't have even made them out. Oh well. Yeah, I was thinking of Xenoloord. Xenoloord can fly. This guy can't. Whatever. Not a big deal. I'll still keep him in the party. We'll just swap out Direwolf because I don't really need him. Why is Flambella in here? Uh-oh. How long do we have before that runs out? Because it might be faster just to cancel and resend it. Yeah, we're just going to cancel it. Palworld. How you doing, Chan? Okay, did I not cancel it? Yeah, you've got a pretty intense semester going on, don't you? Let's... Aha. Ragnarok. And there we go. Ah, chemistry is easy. You can handle chemistry. It's not like you don't have a tutor at your beck and call if you absolutely need one. APs are always hard. I hardly ever recommend people take an AP class because those AP exams, it's not that bad getting like sort of a mid-tier score on the AP exams, but if you want to be absolutely certain your school is going to take the score that you get on it, you've got to do really, really well, and they've got to make the class supremely difficult because in order to get near like the best score on an AP exam, you've got to get nearly a perfect score. I would say most AP classes are harder than their dual credit equivalents. But to be fair, what AP is really meant to be is something where they're like, okay, no matter where... Oh, let's see. Let's just pick up this quest while we're here. Might as well get it. And... we won't do it until we get nearly max level, because that's a quest that we're not equipped to do yet. Yeah, no, taking the AP exam itself is generally optional, but they still got to prep you for it like you're going to take it, which is why it's nightmarishly difficult as far as class goes. And this one. course, the dual credit classes. One rule of thumb in general is dual credit classes are typically taught as if you're going to potentially take that class as a major rather than as an elective. So let's say you're thinking you're going to take dual credit classes to wipe out some of your electives in college. First thing you really want to do is look at which college you're going to go to and ask that actual college if they will take the transfer credit from the dual credit class that you're taking. Because they may acknowledge it, but it may not count towards the credit that you're required to take. That was one of the big problems Emory ran into. They were really bad about saying, okay, yeah, no, we acknowledge that you have this many credits, but you still have to take the class we have here because we don't actually acknowledge the quality of that class. I have not, but that's at least partly, just to be honest with you, it's partly because of the fact that I've been trying to read things to do reviews for the channel. And I know if I dive into Renegade Immortal again, I'm going to be stuck with it for, God, I don't know, at least 2 months. It's really good. It is really enjoyable. Like, if it weren't for you, I would have no idea what cultivation fiction is. Have you ever tried the what are they called? Oh Lord, Will White wrote the Cradle series from Will White. It's probably the only Western cultivation literature that I've heard of. I'm sure there's others, but it's really good. It's like a 12-book series. I think it's 12 of them now. There may be slightly more. I'm pretty sure there's just 12. Let's see. Down there is where the quest goes. So the little plateau with the crystals right here. That's how you know I played this a lot, is that I just know where stuff is. Oh. Yeah. You know what? Let's try to catch some of these guys. Whoop. Okay. Yeah, no, that's a good series to use as one to get you into reading too, because I really enjoy Will White's books. He's really good at keeping things simple but still have a lot of depth to it. Like, there's several books in the Cradle series where I'd never quite realized how long they actually were, just because I'd pick them up, get the whole book read in a couple days, and just be thinking to myself, well, it must have been a little bit shorter than average. Get to looking into it. No, still a couple hundred pages. They read very quickly, and they're really good quality. Almost everything he's written is really fun quality. He's got a Lovecraftian series that involves pirates that's actually really fun too. He's good at crafting magic systems in general. He's probably one of my favorite modern fantasy authors. Let's see if I can still fly. Yeah, okay. So, any statues close by? Try going this way. Nah, we might as well go over this way, because I know that's where the quests are going to send us. There it is. Yeah, I don't think I have to go that far away from it anymore. I've never really paid attention to exactly how many mineable crystal rocks there are around here. It's a metric ton of resources. Let's see if this is ancient wood. Or hardwood. Yeah, it is. Okay. Yeah, instead of getting overburdened, we'll go drop this stuff off and come back and get some hardwood. Yeah, the thing that I think Renegade Immortal really shows well is you just build in one layer at a time. You don't have to go through and just jump through and explain 5 or 6 different cultivation levels all at once, or just make each successive cultivation ritual take a whole bunch of complicated things to it. A level would get introduced. What he needed to do to get past that level would be explained. There'd be a little bit of a plot going on in between while he was figuring out how to do his stuff. And you'd be good to go. Let's see. We need to make circuit boards. How many do we need? 10. Yeah, let's make 20. Okay. Probably should just do that rather than throw everything in at random. Now let's go grab some hardwood while they do that, so that we can make the secondary treat station. Need 100 hardwood. That's one thing that's fun about this game. There's always something to do. There's always something to do. Some of the people that were talking about how, oh, well, you know, I got through, did all my stuff really quickly, blah, 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 blah. If you know life this game, yes. And my wife was generous enough to basically let me play as much as I wanted to this past weekend. I don't know how you could actually get everything in this done in a relatively short time frame to where you don't actually have anything left to do. I haven't seen that. I can't imagine the amount of data you would have to host to have your own offline WoW server with NPCs. And while I'm not really big into multiplayer that much anymore, I also can't imagine that really being all that fun. We're not going to get rid of the stone one because we need that, but I don't really need this one here because the other base is pulling up tons of ore, so we'll get rid of that, but we're going to put the other, hold on, what happened to the other hardwood? It's been doing this. Come on. Yeah, see, hardwood. Oh. Okay. Maybe it just took it a minute to register that they were in there. I mean, you know, that's entirely possible. If you're not having to stream all that data, I can imagine that things would look a lot better, a lot faster. The only thing I would really be concerned with is, well, I don't know. If I'm going to set up an offline server, I'm going to do it for something other than WoW. A good chunk of the fun of WoW was the interactions and the coordination. Even when you're not actually actively talking to people, it was still more fun with other people. So, I don't know. It just sort of defeats a lot of the point of WoW to me. Like, if I'm going to play an MMO, I'm going to play the MMO. I'm not going to completely take the human element out of it. Battery, palmetto, okay. And let's see where... What was the... Cauldron. There's a minecart. I've already made one of those. What was the toolbox? There it is. It does look fun. Now, whether or not I'm going to actually have time to hop back into Final Fantasy XIV, I don't know. I may pay for a bit of a sub for a little bit just to check that specifically out, because I love playing as tanks, and so having a dual wielding shield class as a new tank thing definitely intrigues me. So I'd love to give it a shot, but I don't know, other than maybe doing it for a couple streams, I probably, well, God, okay, won't have time to really dive into it and get to see how it does it in game. One of the problems with Final Fantasy is they still, I don't know, leveling is fast in it, sort of, but leveling alts feels almost torturous. If it wasn't quite as much of a grind to do alt classes, I would probably still play Final Fantasy XIV occasionally in my spare time. Circuit board, corrosive solvent. Do I have corrosive solvent unlocked? Oh, hold on. One thing I should probably check real quick. And 30 nails. We'll just do them outright. Yeah, no, you can get up to a certain point really fast with it. The only problem is, even with all that stuff, at some point it slows down to a crawl. Like, I've got to give WoW the edge on that. With the way they've revamped things now, at least getting your alts into current content is extremely fast. Like, even without level skips, you can get up to current content with some pretty decent speed. Okay, there we go. Oh God. Well, let's see how fast he goes once I get some stuff like Sekhmet up here. Yeah, that's what I thought. Sekhmet's worth grabbing. Oh yeah, that's right. If I'm going to get it, I probably should pre-order in order to get the bonus XP item, so that if I ever actually come back, it's there. Gotta hand it to Square to be able to come up with incentives to get you to pre-order. I'm tempted to try it out on the Switch too. Yeah, that's what you just now saw. I saw that pop up, but yeah, no, I'm tempted to do that as well. Like, I'm curious how it's going to feel on it. Like, I know the little bit that I played it on PlayStation, it actually plays pretty well with controller, the way everything can be laid out. Refined metal chest, refrigerator, large valve bed, ×3. Cryogenic coolant. Oh. Yeah, little stuff like that. I can appreciate that other people like it, but honestly, once I get enough armor, I don't notice anything anymore. Corrosive solvent, I can only make I can make a couple. I don't know. What is it that I need? 5. Yeah, it seems like they're actually... Well, let's just be honest here. With Dawn Trail, they had the edge over WoW. Like, they really did. Very briefly, but they still had the edge. And they pissed it away. So they've got to do a lot of just giving fans things they've been asking for at this point. Because if they don't, then they're just going to continue to go downhill. Like, WoW's not been doing great either, but I don't think the Final Fantasy XIV fan base is nearly as upset with the state of it as a lot of the WoW fan base is. Because this expansion, I went in and played it. It wasn't bad. It just wasn't really all that interesting. I leveled up in it, try to see the story, do all that sort of stuff. And it was fun briefly, but didn't really hold me for very long. I was kind of expecting things to be just a little bit more potentially intense than what they were, and they weren't. And I think that's a consistent criticism with WoW, is that there's no war in Warcraft at this point. Now, Final Fantasy, the only real issue it had was a somewhat unlikable main character. And I know they were trying to let you shift away from you being the main character to putting something else in as the main character. But basically having her jump in and do the kill shot a couple times just didn't feel that good. And she wasn't terrible. The voice actor wasn't as bad as people make it out to be. It just wasn't as good of an experience as it should have been. If anyone's watching, sorry if this is somewhat disorienting. I'm just trying to get the little yellow dots to go away. They're not going to go when they Palpedia. So, okay, whatever. That's all the effort it's going to get. And let's see. Refined metal chest. I just need some nails. The cat lady. The one that you help make basically into a queen. I honestly can't remember her name at this point. Oh Lord. She was the main character, so kind of goes to show the quality of the character. And we need to do, I think it's the large pal bed, so high quality cloth. What have I got to make that out of? How many? Oh, how many do I need? 5, 10, 15. So I need 9 more. I can make 3 more. Alright, so what all am I missing? Wool. Wool and leather. Let's just go buy a bunch. Probably going to play for a few more minutes and then hop out. Might go give the next boss tower a try, see if Jetragon can carry us under leveled. I don't know. That might just be a complete waste of time because I'd be about 8 levels under. Gold eventually becomes a non-factor because you can make as much of it as you want. Have a good night, man. Thanks for stopping by. So I need 6 more to make the ones that I need. I appreciate that. And let's throw these up here. Oh god, I'm missing nails. Alright, let's see. What are we going to end up putting back in here? Warsec to be a good one for the base. And maybe throw out a Mozzarella. Actually, I need to put Kelpsy. And put a Kelpsy. And the Mao back in so I can get some more organs and fluid. Diet liver, yeah, that'll work. Ah. Speak of the devil, he shall appear. Let's drop this out and then see if we have enough Bellinor slabs to actually go fight Bellinor. Then we'll go try to fight Bellinor. She's a good party member to have. Have some good dark attacks. Guild chest and electric kitchen. Yeah, let's see how this goes. Let's jump down to this side. Ooh, fanworm, chillette. Ultra. You know what? Let's sort level. Alright, and we'll start with Jet Dragon out. See what happens. Yeah, health is going down pretty good. Let's do for Stellium knocked. Where's the box at? Pop this one out. Yeah, we're gonna win. Just take a second. There we go. That wasn't that bad. And ancient civ cores, some skill fruits, all sorts of nice stuff. I'd say a successful fight against Belenoir is a good place to end for the night. As soon as I manage to climb into this room to put this stuff in here. Let's see. Do we have enough to... Alright. Not sure what that notification was, but I would say we're good for the evening. Let's go check the other base real quick to make sure they're not starving to death. And then we're going to hop off. Well, if you stopped by, thank you for stopping by. That'll be it for this evening. Have a good night, and